More than a year of Joan Collins' work was literally tossed into the garbage pail.
Joan Collins, her publisher says she didn't have the right stuff. Now she's battling back with millions at stake. Is Joan Collins bound to a book contract?
Did you strangle Peggy?
No, I didn't.
He was once a respected Dallas minister until he had questions to answer about a suspicious attack on his wife, a man of the cloth and a violent crime.
Plus, closing arguments in this police officer's trial. His gun went off and a young boy died. But was it murder?
And he helped O.J. Simpson avoid prison. Now, can F. Lee Bailey keep himself out of jail? Those stories and more, next.
This is Court TV's Inside America's Courts. Now, from New York, Gregg, Jarrett, and Kristin Jeannette-Myers.
Hello and welcome. She made her name as an actress on the stage and screen.
But actress Joan Collins' latest drama is being played out in a court of law. Collins, who's perhaps best known for her role as Alexis on the TV show Dynasty, is also a published author. And it's her writings that have landed her in court. Collins is being sued by the publishers, Random House, over a contract flap that's put the actress in the midst of a real-life drama.
Miss Collins should be treated like any other person who signs a contract. If you sign a contract, you live up to it.
Joan Collins, best known for her acting, seems more like an extra in the courtroom as attorneys take center stage and tell jurors what the evidence will reveal.
That Random House totally failed to provide Miss Collins with the editorial assistance that she needed, and which Random House knew she needed, and which Random House knew that she expected and knew that she was entitled to receive.
But Random House claims it paid Collins a $1.3 million advance to write 2 books. The company alleges she took the money but didn't complete the work, and now they want their money back.
I hope the justice is going to be done. I delivered what I was supposed to do, which is 2 novels under a $4 million contract.
At trial, Random House's first witness is one of the industry's top agents, Joni Evans, who has worked with numerous celebrities and other best-selling authors. The former Random House editor who worked with Collins trashes the one manuscript Collins allegedly did turn in.
It was no good. It was not something somebody on the street would read and expect to understand or like. It was just too rough. Too early on in the process. It wasn't ready to even discuss credibly.
Random House is trying to prove Collins breached her contract by turning in only 1 manuscript, titled A Ruling Passion, and Collins' efforts didn't meet the standards set out in the deal.
And to my great relief, Joan said, "This is just a first draft," and assured me that I should relax. This is just the beginning, that she would be there to redo it and not for me to worry.
But Collins' attorney counters she gave Random House a total of 2 quality manuscripts, exactly what she promised. On cross-examination, Collins' attorney tries to suggest the quality of Collins' work is similar to the work of other well-known authors the agent has edited.
Were you ever alarmed by any of the manuscripts that Jeffrey Archer turned into you for editing?
Not in the same way. I would be alarmed about the amount of work sometimes, especially one that was about the British political system.
Well, Court TV's Chris Gordon was inside the courtroom, and he joins us now. Chris, did it appear difficult for the defendant, Joan Collins, to listen to a former friend basically insult her work?
Yes, it did. In fact, she had none of the regal bearing that you expect from Alexis Carrington on Dynasty. In fact, she looked like a businesswoman or an author who took her work seriously and felt kind of defensive when it was criticized. In fact, when she left the courtroom, she was asked how it felt to hear the criticism, and she said, well, how would you think it would feel?
Well, which woman is right will be decided by the jury. And, Chris, this is an unusual jury, isn't it?
Yes, it is. They have found 11 people, almost all of whom have college education. One's a lawyer, a corporate lawyer. And the interesting thing about this, the judge hasn't told them which of them will be jurors and which will be alternates. They could have a jury of 11 with 9 having to vote, or they could have a jury of 6 with 5 voting. And right now, neither the lawyers nor the jurors know which ones will decide the case, so no one's sleeping in this courtroom.
All right, Chris. Well, thank you very much. And Joan Collins is expected to take the stand later this week, and we'll bring it to you.
We're waiting for a verdict now in Detroit. A police officer is on trial accused of murdering a child. 10-year-old Freddie Vila died in 1994, hit by a bullet from the gun of Officer Glenn Price. But Price claims his gun fired accidentally. And as Court TV's Emily Mathis reports, before deliberations began, the prosecutor stands one final time in an effort to meet her burden of proof.
All I have to prove as it relates to the charge of murder in the second degree is, did he consciously, knowingly, and intentionally create a situation where he placed anyone, not John Collins, but anyone in that area in danger?
The burden of proof, you see, never switches. The burden never ends on the prosecutor. And you start saying, wait a minute, did she carry the burden of proof? Am I convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that he had no reason to pull that gun? Am I convinced beyond a reasonable doubt that that discharge wasn't accidental?
Murder or accident? That's the big question for the 7 women and 5 men on Detroit police officer Glenn Price's jury. Price was off duty the night of July 22nd, 1990.